Hello, my engineering drawing and design class. In this video, I'm going to show you all how to do presentations in Autodesk Inventor. These are very simple things to do, and once we have a few settings under our belt, then you will actually be amazed at how quickly you'll be able to pick this up. So, with that said, let me show you how to do this using the drop-down hitch presentation. So I'm going to first go ahead and open Inventor. This is what a typical file will look like. I'm going to go to the home screen here because I'm going to show you a couple things that you're going to want to set up. First, go ahead and set your project up in here. With me, I went ahead and set it up. Oops, thank you. I know that. Uh, so that this project here will then go directly to a folder. When selecting this folder and having it built in a project, then the pathway it will use every time when it tries to go ahead and use the presentation. Doing a different project, create a new project in here, and you can go ahead and set the default folder for that project. But I have my project set, so I'm going to go ahead and create a presentation. Now, presentations are always built off of uh, assemblies. They're not built directly off of parts because the assemblies put everything where it needs to be. So this is out of where I chose it to go in my project. So once again, I'm going to grab my trailer hitch. I'm going to say open. And I am now into the presentation setup. And I'm going to give you a kind of brief overview of what we're looking at. Up here, we have the ribbon with the presentation tab now available to us. We'll get into these parts here in a second. These are different files that I have open. Ultimately, this is uh, the assembly that I am working off of. So I'm going to come back into here. Down here's my storyboard with my timeline. A couple controls. This is my rewind to the beginning. This is to play forward. This is to play in reverse. And then this is to go to the end of the storyboard. So in the presentation here, we are able to play and record both forward and backwards, which is a really cool thing. Here's our timeline. This is our current marker where we are in time. And then this part right here, this is our scratch zone. The neat thing about our scratch zone, if we move our time in here, then we will, whatever we set up in here is going to be our initial settings, or if we're playing in reverse, it'll be our final settings. So it allows us to move things around, get everything set just the way we want. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and send this thing home. And I want to get this view right here. Just based off the way I built it, this is the view that I want to have. So I'm happy with this. What I want to do is say, this is the camera angle that I want to end with. So I'm going to come up here and say capture camera. And it just put it right in here for me. I am good with that. So now I'm going to come in here to my time zone. I am now going to rewind to the beginning. So I know that I am at 00 here. And the first thing I want to do is say, okay, I want to tweak my time or where I'm actually looking at here. So I'm going to say, I'm just going to bring this out. I'm going to bring this out a second. I want to adjust everything right here, my camera angle. That'll be the first thing we're going to do because at the end it'll be the last thing. So what I have found is I tend to use the constraint or the orbital constraint one here. You may have just regular orbit. I like to use constrained orbit here. It allows me to move things much easier. Swing this around like that. Swing this around like that. There we go. So now I can see exactly what I want. And I'm going to create a camera or a capture. So for that 1 second, watch if I play this in reverse. There it goes back. So I am at the end here. Now let's go ahead and move some components here. So I should be back to here. I am good. Now I want to go ahead and bring this nut out. So what I can do, I can go up here to a component, or I can just grab the component. You see it highlighting. I'm going to right click and I am going to go to tweak components. And I'm just going to bring this one down. I can drag it down by the arrows, or I can give it a distance. I'm just going to give it a hard distance of 2 inches. I can set my duration here. I'm going to make that part 1 inch or 1 second, that last little part. And then I'm going to also my trails here. If I don't want to have these trails showing, I can go ahead and say delete this trail, just like this. And the trail is gone. So I like this. I'm going to hit save. And now I want to go ahead and tweak this thing again. I could have done both movements at once, but I wanted to show you all different ways to do this. I'm going to bring this thing out. We'll say 10 inches. I think I like that. Good. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to make my time now 2 seconds. And I don't have any trails. Good. So now I'm going to hit yes. And you can see it actually built right on top of this. I'm going to play this thing backwards. Pretty neat. All right. So we're back at the end here. I want to go ahead and grab this washer. So I'm going to right click on that, tweak components again. And I'm going to bring this one down. I'm going to bring this one down probably, let's say, I think I kind of like about what that is. So we'll say -2 inches. And then I'm also going to go ahead and bring this thing out here. Let's go here. And we're going to make this a 2 second. So I'm going to say OK. Now, once again, I have these trails here. I don't want them. So I'm just going to come over here, right click on this part here. I'm going to edit my tweak in the timeline. And I want to go ahead and delete that trail. I'll show you another way how to do this here in a moment. But once again, you can see the video is starting to come together. I like it. So at this point, I'm just going to go ahead and continue doing what I am doing. So I'm going to go, I'm actually just going to go ahead and shift this around a little bit. So let's go back to my constraints here. Actually, I think with this one, I'm just going to come back, get me back into that view that I was at. Something like that. I can even zoom in a little bit. I'm just going to stay with this. And I'm going to capture camera. It brought it in here. I'm just going to shift this to the end. Double click it. How long do I want this transition to go? I'm going to make this a second. You can see it shift over to the end. Now I'm going to go ahead and pull the ball out here. Tweak components. Let's come up. And then from the inside here, I'm going to grab this ball because this is going to give me more of a free move. But it's going to create 2 different movements for me. So I'll be happy with that. Something like that. And I'm going to make this 1.5, I think. I like that. So once again, I have this trail in here. I can also right click and then I can go to select or let's do this. There we go. Right click on the trail there and I can hide trail segments current. Let's get rid of that one. And let's go ahead and get rid of that one. Now I think in this one here, this time spot, I made that a 2 second movement. I want to make that a second and a half, 1.5. I'll be happy with that. I can now take time, or parts shifted over to condense my time. Place in reverse. It looks like we're doing pretty well here. I like it. All right, so let me just go ahead and finish this up. So that 1.25 to the end. Components. Let's see here. I don't really need to say a lot here because we've already kind of talked about this. I'm going to go ahead and bring this part out, tweak component. Make that a straight line. Let's make that a 4. I'm going to get a new camera. Five. And then, actually, I think it said that last one. I'm going to get rid of that. And this will be my final camera capture. That makes 1.25. All right, so let's see what we got here. I'm going to run this to the end here and play this in reverse. And what we should see, everything coming together. Apparently I need to remove these lines still. But our presentation is coming together. I like this. I like it a lot. All right, so I'm going to come in here again real quick. I'm going to hide trail segments. I'm going to hide this trail segment. There we go. So now let's say I have this right here and I'm like, okay, I really like this view. I want to go ahead and get a drawing of this thing. Check this out. First thing I want to do is save this thing. Let's save this. I probably should have saved it right when I started. I'm going to call this thing Craig Trailer Hitch Presentation. This will be number 2. Obviously, I was testing this thing out. So, B2. Save. Okay. So let's say I really like this view. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to create a drawing view. It's going to ask us what template do we want to use. We can use English, metric, whatever templates we have. I'm going to go with an English one. And I'm just going to go ahead and use this size A, which will be an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. I will create. Yes, that's fine. Oh, did we not do the snapshot? Cancel. Cancel. Get rid of this. No. Apparently I forgot to show you all. I did. I forgot to show you snapshots. So let's say we're really happy with this. Again, let's grab a quick snapshot. You're going to see them show up over here. Now, the snapshots are not super done in time, so I can shift this thing around however I want. Maybe I'm like, I think I kind of like this one a little bit better. So I'm going to grab a snapshot here as well. These are just different things that I can take a look at if I want to. Yep, that's a snapshot. Finish. Okay, so I'm going to take this one here and I'm going to say, let's go ahead and create a drawing. Once again, English. I'm going to grab that one right there. Yes, I understand. It's because I had view 1 here. I have that available to me. I am going to come, let's see here. There we go. I was going to escape to get out of there. So I get this one back. But you can see the exploded view is already here for me. I believe this was my setup view. It is. I'm going to go ahead and while I'm on the red here, just expand this out a little bit, shift this over a little bit. You can see obviously I have all my information right here. When I get rid of the shadowing, I am going to call this exploded view. Tab box are on. Exploded view. If I want to, I can turn on my label visibility. I can edit my label down however I want. So view and my scale, that's fine. Okay. Okay. Let's go ahead and bring this part up. So put it right here. I like this. And there it is. There is a quick drawing of my exploded view from my presentation. I'm going to go ahead and save this real quick. There we go. Save. That's fine. All right. So I have this available to me later if I want. But let's get back into our presentation here. Let's finish this thing up. So the last thing we're going to do is we're going to come over here to video. And we're going to use the current storyboard. We could have multiple storyboards here, especially if we're using the same thing to show different things. We can easily create multiple storyboards all off the same assembly. So I'm going to use current one. I'm going to give this thing a name. So I'm going to call this thing Greg's Greg presentation. Yeah, Mr. Craig presentation. Go ahead and save this thing. If you're working through Frame or something like that, make sure you're saving it through the Google, Google Drive file stream. If you're working at one of the computers at the school, you can save it to the desktop if you like, and then go ahead and move it to your flash drive or your, again, Google Drive. Once again, I want to go ahead and do this in reverse so that you actually will see this thing come together. You can see my timing here. I could change the times if I want to and not catch all of it. It's up to me. I can do different sizes if I want. So right now this thing is sitting at 253 by 870. I'll be fine with that. I'll just leave it there. Anyway, I could adjust if I want. I can change my resolution, all sorts of fun things. My file format type, I'm going to save this as a WMV file. That's a small enough file, and I'm going to hit OK. And here's the cool thing. Now you can see Illustrator is going through step by step, and it is building this file. We're just going to wait a quick second here. And when we're done, you will see this all put together. Here we go. It's all complete. So it wasn't that bad on time. Now I'm going to go ahead, open up. There we go. There's the folder that I put it in. Mr. Craig presentation. Going to open it up. And here we go. Now, you could take this file. If you're using something like WeVideo, you can go drop it in right there for the video part of it, do narration over top of it or any type of music you would like to have, and have a very, very cool presentation off of an assembly. So that is how you create presentations. That's how you create drawings out of the presentation. If there are any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, enjoy making presentations in Inventor.